What? Why am I offline? No, I'm still online. I think I'm still here, guys. I just changed some settings, so I think that took me offline. Guys, I'm not really like clear on how this works, so bear with me. But like the more I do this, the better it will get. Because this stream is better than last time for sure. Okay, good. Looks like I'm back. All right, guys. Am I back now? Okay, is it still spotty? Is it still like grainy? What's up, Shug from Egypt? How you doing, man? Hey, Jameen. Hello, Abrico. Good to see you guys here. Thanks for coming. Silver Fox, you say the comments are better than live stream? Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I upped the bit rate, so hopefully it looks better. Mike, let's see. Yeah, Mike, I upped the bit rate. The thing is, I have limited data, so I'm trying to like output the bare minimum to do a stream here. I had to buy data. I'm using my smartphone as a hotspot to do this stream. I had to pay out of pocket to do this. Yeah, guys, love the jokes about the African internet here. Those are great. Those are really funny. Um, Mike, I'm going to make you a moderator if you don't mind. So you can stick around as long as you can. You don't have to stick around for the whole thing. I don't think I'm going to be on that long. I'm going to hang out here for a while and talk to everybody, and then I'll try to make this a private stream for my patrons so I can talk to you guys personally. Tez from Tokyo. Yeah, so Mike, I made you moderator, and bad words are okay with me. Just, if it's like an insulting comment or something, just kick them out. But yeah, everybody's been pretty cool so far. Not as many trolls in here as I would expect. Old Huck Finn, how you doing, man? Cool, man. Okay, you've been a follower since my Japan days. All right, cool. Yeah, Toby, we get rain like every night pretty much. They're really nice because it's really hot and it cools down the. I'm in like in a hot valley, and it just the heat just builds up in the afternoon, and it just breaks into a rain in the afternoon, and it's great. And the electricity goes out a lot, which means I have no internet. But I've gotten used to that, and just it's nice because when you don't have electricity, you can't watch TV or look at look at a computer screen or use internet, and you just listen to the rain, light some candles. It's nice. Bob Joe, are you teaching English? Not in Kenya, but I teach online. I have a few students. James Banner, thanks, man. Good to see you here. How many people we got in the chat? I don't know. 27. I'm not sure. Let me see. Let me look at the YouTube page. Oh, we got 28 watching. Okay. Yeah, I should have advertised this live stream a few days ago to get more people here, but no worries. Bob Joe is asking me what the weather is like here. I mean, it depends if you're in the mountains or the valley. If you're in the valley, it's just roasting hot in the afternoon. Like you don't even want to go out because the sun is beaming down on you so hard. If you've ever been to Phoenix, Arizona, it's similar to that. Feels like that in the afternoon. But after 4 p.m. it cools off. And it's not like Phoenix, Arizona. It cools off, it rains. Shu One, I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce your name. The deep suck of life after 40. You like that video? Cool, man. Hello, Cody. And Yell, good to see you here, man. And Yell, I'm gonna let you help out with moderation as well. We don't have that many viewers, so there shouldn't be too many problems. Do I miss Japan? No, I don't. I miss some things about it. I miss washiki toilets. It's probably what I miss most is the washiki toilets. Those are the toilets that clean you out. They spray you, and I really miss those. What else would I miss? I kind of miss like sushi. I miss ramen. I miss, not being able to eat good like ramen or soba. I miss some of the food. What else do I miss? I miss how clean it is there and how clean it is. Yeah. It's a good question. Hey, Rody. Thanks, man. A mystery square? Yeah, there's tons of mosquitoes in Kenya. Just like the most mosquitoes I've ever experienced in my life. And you have to sleep with a mosquito net over you. Otherwise, just like hundreds of mosquitoes would attack you while you're sleeping. And like everybody around me, the Kenyan people I'm with, like they've all gotten malaria. And I haven't for some reason. And I get a lot of bites because I'm really tall, so my legs actually stick out of the mosquito net. And then like when I wake up in the morning, I've got all these mosquito bites. Like my legs and feet are just covered with red little dots that are mosquito bites. So I don't know. Knock on wood. I don't know why I haven't gotten sick yet, but yeah. And I decided not to take malaria pills. I just didn't want to bother with the hassle. I figure if I get malaria, I'll just go to the hospital and get the shot. Spanish messed. Yeah, I'm gonna add the Boundless song back into the like outros probably. You'll see those, but in 10 or so more videos down the line. He misses the girls. Danielle, are you saying I miss Japanese girls? They're very beautiful. And it's nice eye candy, but do I miss talking to them and interacting with them and trying to be friends with them? Don't miss it, man. Just to be honest with you. You know, I don't miss the head games with Japanese people in general. I don't miss the head games and the mixed signals and confusing communication. I don't miss that at all. I really like how open Kenyans are and just they say what they mean. They're direct. They're friendly. It's wonderful. I think Toby probably understands this. It's like after being in Japan for so long, it's just wonderful to talk to people who don't have this complex filter of communication. Alexander Rust, how much longer will I be in Kenya? It depends what I decide to do with the visa. I'm here on a tourist visa, and I can stay anywhere from 3 to 6 months. I'm trying to figure out that right now. But I've already answered that question. Like my patrons at ryanboundless.com, they're up to date on what's going on with me. Yes, J-Man, I still compose, and I just gotta work harder, and I have some songs to put out. Yeah, I'm gonna start focusing on that more. I want to build up my what do you call it? My content for Spotify. After I finish 2 or 3 more songs, I'm going to register them with a distributor, and so that I can put them on Spotify, iTunes, and all that. Hey, Silver Fox, I see you hating on, I see you hating on Kenya. Like when you guys tell jokes about Africa and Kenya, it's funny. It makes me laugh. I just don't like it when people fearmonger and they say, "Oh, you're gonna die soon." I won't be surprised if you're gonna end up in a ditch. Like you can't say that if you've never been to Kenya. You can't say that. Yeah, and I don't miss the fakeness of Japan. Yeah, there's a lot of fakeness. Oh, cool. We got 72 people here now. Cool. All right, guys. I'm probably gonna. I don't know. If I'm not getting any super chats or donations or anything, I'm just gonna take this private with my patrons. I'll stick here. I'll wait. I'll wait till we get like 100 viewers. On that last live stream that I had set up, like since I advertised it about a week before, I think like 600 people came. But I messed it up because I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to set it up, and my internet connection was crappy. So sorry about that, guys. Let me read through the comments here. Um, some of these I can't answer. Um, you can become a patron and ask me those questions, and I'll make a video about it. Um, do I miss anything about the U.S.? Yeah, I miss the food. I miss the food. The food is really good. I love the variety of food you can get in America, and pretty affordable too. But yeah, mostly the variety. Like you can get, you know, well, I was gonna say Mexican food is pretty good, but you know, I went I went to a Japanese restaurant in America, and it was like not authentic at all. It was like Americanized Japanese food. That's an experience I had before. Hmm. Deshaun, you should get a dog. I love dogs and cats, but I couldn't like be. It's too much. Well, it's not too much responsibility, but if I was going to get a pet, I would be super responsible. And I'm moving around a lot these days. So once I get a home base that having a pet would be a consideration. Do you have any problems with America similar to Japan? Yeah, um, the people, yeah, I find Americans to be kind of cold, like the middle class and up. They seem kind of cold and defensive, and yeah, and Japanese people are like that. But interacting with, I guess, people below middle class, they're usually really nice. I'm talking about Americans, when I've ridden the bus in America because I don't have a car. People on the bus will just talk me up, and they're very friendly. So it seems like people who don't have a lot of money are usually nicer. And I would say the same for Japan as well. Yeah. Oh, dude, how's the coffee in Kenya? It's good, man. It's good. Some of the best coffee I've had. Abrico, what kind of song do you plan to release? Um, so I'm just learning how to use the DAW, which is a digital audio workstation. It's a software you use to create music. So I think what you'll notice, so because I'm not experienced with that DAW, which is called FL Studios, um, I've just been making like simple piano music. But the more experienced I get using that software, I think the more interesting and creative music I'll be able to make. Although I think you can really make good music with one instrument, the piano as well. So yeah. Uh, veg, vegan web, or Toby is saying, you miss African Americans because they're not fake like the Japanese. Yeah, man. It's been it's been so long. I don't I don't know. I don't think of African Americans. I don't really like differentiate them from white Americans. I just consider them all Americans. Mhm. Bob Joe, what can I do to grow up to be just like you? How old are you, man? Am I going to move to Somalia next? I I want to stay away from Somalia. Okay. Kung Fu Chess, what's the cost of living in Kenya versus Japan? Well, you guys know that I could live in Japan pretty economically. Um, near the end of my stay, I was living on less than $800 a month, between $600 and $800 a month, which is, if any of you have ever lived in Japan, you know that's really cheap to get by in Japan. Um, so in Kenya, yeah, I think I think I'm pulling it off under 500 a month. And that's in a nice apartment, which you probably have seen a little bit in some of my videos. It's a gated, secure compound. It's a nice, modern apartment. Food is super cheap in Kenya. Like I can buy 2 days worth of meals at a restaurant for about $4. You're welcome, Danielle. Glad you like the coffee. I sent Danielle some coffee. He's one of my patrons. I sent him some coffee from Kenya. Yeah, I see questions here, but they're questions I can answer for my patrons. So if you want those questions answered, consider becoming a patron, or consider joining my site, ryanbalance.com. California traveler, how often do you drink beer? Probably like once a week. sports simulation. You binge watched all my videos. Awesome, man. Thank you for that. The TEDx experience. Go to Ethiopia. The girls are so hot there. Yeah, I've seen a few videos of Ethiopia, and yes, the girls are hot there. I actually want to explore like other countries around me, like Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, and yeah, after I explore those, I'll think about going to other regions of Africa. I've already been to West Africa. I've been to Ghana. I've had a completely different experience compared to Ghana. A much, much better experience. They say that Ghana is the gateway to Africa for people going to Africa for the first time. And I couldn't disagree more. But I'll save that story for a later time. Yeah, Kim Jong-un. I'm not in Japan anymore. Watch my most recent videos. California Traveler, is there a bar or disco near me? Yes, yes, there is. It's kind of cool because like you guys have seen like kind of where I live if you've watched my videos on Kenya so far. You've seen where I live, and it's kind of like in this isolated area. But like at night, especially on Friday and Saturday night, like way out, it's probably a mile or two away, but I can hear the music from the disco because it carries through the air because there's no buildings to block the sound. So the sound travels over these grasslands. It's like 2 miles away, but I can hear I can faintly hear the club music. It's pretty cool. And yo, watching my videos like a marathon. Cool, man. I actually love watching my videos too. I mean, like a few years later after I've made them, yeah, it's good to have those memories on video. John Fettig, yeah, man, I would love to visit South America. I think it would, I would think it would be smoother if I could speak Spanish though. Thomas Affolter, why leave Japan for that place? Oh man, I do not regret my decision. I freaking love Kenya. It's like if if your stress level is like a 10 right here, then living in Japan is like right here, and your chill level in Kenya is like right down here at like 1 or 2. There's lots of hot women in Guatemala. Okay, I think you're, I think you're fibbing me. What was I like in third grade? Man, I was a confused, I was a confused kid. I didn't know what was going on. I had a learning disability. Once you go black, you never go back. Well, we'll see about that. Have I befriended any cows? Yeah, I befriended one that he came up and licked my arm. I fell in love with him or her. Other than snakes or insects, what animal What animals do you legitimately have to worry about? God, why do people have all these notions that like it's so dangerous in Africa? Um, Dude, I don't know. Like, I'll tell you like the kind of the worst experience I've had with animals. It's happened to me two or three times. The first time was the worst. I was just walking out on the grasslands, and there's some kind of bug. I don't know what kind it is. I never see it, but it flies right into my eye. And it's when it flies into my eye, I think it's stinging my eye. Like it stings my eyeball. And the first time this happened, I was like, I folded down in two and I was crying and I was like panicking. I was like, holy fuck, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Like, I don't, a lot of these people around here can't speak English. Like, how could I get emergency help right now? And I was just like crying because this bug flew into my eye and stung my eye. And like for 30 minutes, I couldn't see and it was like all teared up. And the pain started to subside. And after a while, I was okay. But man, I've never had that experience before. But that happened to me two more times. So there's some kind of bug there that likes to fly into your eye and sting it. And it's not a bee. It's not a bee because I would hear a bee coming. Okay. You might be you might be chill in Africa, but you have HIV and malaria to worry about. Um, yeah, I mean that's true. You have to worry about HIV if you're not careful. And malaria, yeah, there's preventative measures you can take like sleeping under a mosquito net. And there's also I forgot the word. It's like medicine you can take so that even if you get stung by a mosquito that is infected with malaria, you won't catch it. But I've decided not to take those. I've decided not to take that medicine. Why do so many J-vloggers portray Japan as a magical utopia? Because they want to align their choice with something positive, I guess. It's hard to it's hard to say I fucked up, I don't like it here, or I'm doing something I don't like, or I'm not happy here. Because it makes you look stupid, I guess. That's a good question, and that's a good question to think about. Okay, I'm gonna keep on going here. We got 89 people here. Guys, I'm gonna be silent for a minute because I'm gonna put a poll over on Patreon to see what my patrons want to do. I'm gonna ask them if they want me to take this private for them or not. So let me do that. Just I don't know. I don't know how to pause this, but just hang out for a sec while I do that. So I'm gonna make a post on Patreon right now. Let's see. Okay, let's see if this works. All right, so if any of my patrons are watching, I just posted a poll whether you want me to keep this live stream public or if you want me to take it private. So whatever the majority votes, that's what I'm going to do. If the majority of my patrons want me to take this live stream private, then I'll do that. If the majority of them wants me to keep it public, then that's what I'll do. So if you're a patron, head over to Patreon and vote, please. All right, let's see. Okay, Bob Joe, how does Kenya compare to Thailand? Um, for me, and that's a great question. I should make a video about that. For me, you kind of have this eternal feeling of being a foreigner when you're in Thailand. You're more isolated because there's a big language gap, and it's a lot like Japan in the way that you're always going to be a foreigner. But one thing about Kenya is a lot of people who have gone to school, they can speak English. So right away you're able to make a connection with a lot of people, and well, they also will treat you. The Kenyans will do things that make you feel like a foreigner, but it's not. I don't know. It's just it's different. It's not as negative. It's not as isolating. Um, what I really like is like Kenyans. A lot of them will invite you into their house for a meal or to have dinner with them or just to meet their family. Like they really, really make you feel welcome, and you don't get that in Thailand. Just random Thai people or just like people in your neighborhood inviting you over to their house, introducing you to their family. Yeah, so that's one major difference. But I like to think about these things and then make a video about it. It's more difficult for me to answer um, good questions like that off the cuff. Let's see. Reply Will, what's my favorite food where I am currently? Oh gosh. It's like this restaurant I go to, and the way they make this beef is just like so freaking tasty, and like I'll mix that with avocado, and then I'll have chapati. It's really freaking good, man. Old Huck Finn, thanks, man. Thanks for joining. See you later. Yeah, so if any of my patrons are here, just go over to Patreon, the Ryan Boundless Patreon, and vote whether you want me to keep this live stream public or just make it for patrons only. Toby's asking, can they walk straight in Kenya? They can't walk straight in Japan. Do you mean like Japanese people like look down when they walk and therefore they don't walk straight? Is that what you mean by that, Toby? Yeah, Kenyans, they look, they look straight ahead and they look at you and they acknowledge you and they smile and they say hi. It's freaking awesome, man. You would love it because it's so different from Japan. It's like, oh God, I wish I could really like convey this to you guys who have never been to Japan, but when you've lived there so long and for over a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, whatever, you just like, it's kind of fucked up how you adapt to being treated a certain way. And then you go to a place like Kenya, for example, and it's like the sun came out and all of a sudden people like look at you, acknowledge you, smile at you, talk to you. And they don't ask you like alienating questions, that constantly remind you that you're not a part of us, you don't belong here. And then you're in Kenya and people are just like friendly and welcoming and they're I don't know. They make you feel like a human again. Yeah, great question, Toby. Sorry, I think I went off the bender there on that one. Sebastian, that's how Mexicans are. We invite you uh, to meet our relatives and stuff. Yeah, yeah, I know Mexicans are like that, man. Yeah, Mexicans are also really welcoming and warm. And like in Mexico, you can, be walking through a neighborhood and they're like grilling tacos outside and they'll ask you if you want one. Yeah, Mexicans are cool. Future Shock is asking me how the stars are. Yeah. Um, well, where I am out in a village, which is outside of Kisumu, I actually don't live in Kisumu, but I use that as a reference point because Kisumu is the third largest city in Kenya. It's actually not that big. I think it's only 500,000 people. But I don't live in Kisumu. I live in a village that's about 30 minutes from Kisumu. And yeah, no air pollution. Sky is beautiful out there. Let's see. All right, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to go back to Patreon and check up on that poll that I just posted to see if my patrons want to keep the live stream public or not. Okay. Sorry guys if I'm quiet. I'm reading the comments. How did I end up in Kenya? Yeah, I need to make a video about that, obviously. Haven't even haven't even made a video about that for my patrons, so thanks. That's a good idea for a video. Definitely need to make that video. Sebastian says, maybe I should go to Japan to appreciate Mexico more. Oh man, if you go to Japan, you will appreciate Mexico more. When you come back to Mexico, you'll be so happy to eat Mexican food again because it pretty much doesn't exist in Japan. I mean, it does, but it's different. It's really, really pricey there in Japan. And yeah, people are a lot more reserved and colder in Japan compared to Mexicans. Oh, that's a good comment, Lee Boy. The first thing you realize in a so-called civilized country is how quickly you slip into what is expected of you instead of true expression. That's deep, man. Nice. Yeah, Future Shock, you're welcome. Let's see. Killer Demo. No, I don't plan to go to Mogadishu or Somalia. In Mexico, they grill tacos outside. They also hang dismembered gang members from the trees. I don't know. What part of Mexico are you talking about? The only place I know so far in detail is Puerto Vallarta, and I've never seen that. I've never seen that in Puerto Vallarta. If you guys, if I'm not answering your question, I just recommend that you become a patron, and I'll, yeah, depending on how much you pledge, I'll make a video answering your question. Turtle Girl, hi, how you doing, Turtle Girl? Good to see you here. Um, Is the RV life still on my back burner? Yeah, uh, not as much as I wanted to do it before, but I did have an epiphany, and that's that I don't want to do it alone. I would like to do it with a girlfriend. Um, so yeah, it's just something I don't think I'd want to do alone. So Cody Raymer, why do I go private when I only have 90 viewers? Well, I have like 46,000 subs, and some of the videos I have on RyanBoundless.com are very personal. So, like, if you're curious about what happened in the last year and a half of my life, I was still vlogging. I put out, I don't know, over 60 videos, I think, in the past year and a half. And I just didn't want to be public. And I was perfectly happy to just, share my life with a small group of people. I was perfectly happy with that. And actually, taking a break from YouTube was one of the best things I've ever done. And I'll do it again if I want to. Okay, trying to catch up with the comments here. Wakey Wakey, thank you, man. Good to see you. We're glad to have you here. Sky Clank, thank you. Thanks for joining. Alexander Russ, do you do things to maintain your Japanese? Yeah. Once in a while, I listen to Japanese radio just to just to check if I still understand it. And surprisingly, I do. Like I understand it perfect, almost perfectly. But that's like when you're just listening to the radio or TV, for example. That's like passively understanding the language. And then I have one friend who doesn't speak English, who I still keep in touch with, and I speak to her in Japanese, and we leave each other voice messages. And sometimes, like midway through a sentence, I'll forget a word that I could have easily said before, but I just forget it. Like I was telling her, like it'll be okay. I said something like, I said to her like, why don't you live with your parents for a while and let them support you while you work? And when I had to say the word support in Japanese, I knew it started with an S, but I couldn't remember it. So I had to stop the message and like try to remember the word. And I was like, oh, right, sasaeru, support. So yeah, it's just things like that happen to me. New York will make you suicidal. Well, actually, Aniel's in New York. He tells me a lot about it. It sounds nice. You know, you make a lot of money over there, but also the cost of living is pretty high. It seems. I don't know. Maybe if I got a really high-paying job, I might go to New York. I don't know. No, I don't think I want to live in America again, unless I get some awesome job. Mike, thanks for moderating. You too, Aniel. I see you're I see you're blocking the trolls, and I appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. Uh, Killer demo. What was it like? What was the final moments before I left Japan like? Man, get on my RyanBoundless.com. I made a video about that, or a couple videos, so you could see what it was like. What's up, Unique 90? Glad to have you here. Anti-crap. Good to see you. It's a funny handle name. Pancho something something. Will you ever go back to Japan? Uh, Not to live and work. I don't plan to. And I, I can make a video of the reasons why, um, which I think those reasons would help everybody. But I would like to visit again for sure. I mean, I still have a permanent residency there. I can go back anytime I want and stay as long as I want. Maybe when I'm a little more financially comfortable, I'll go back during the winter. I love the onsens and eating the seafood. Or I'd like to ride my bike like from like northern Japan to southern Japan. Ride my bicycle and just like camp out, and I'd like to do that probably in the spring or the fall. Are you keeping up on the Ebola outbreak in Congo? No, no, it's not close enough to me yet to worry about. Future shock. Do they still use shortwave radio in Kenya? I don't know what you mean by shortwave radio, but yeah, I still see a lot of guys listening to radios, like our watchman. He listens to the radio while he's guarding the compound at night. But actually, old Japanese men do too. They walk around listening to their radios. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, those are like good memories I have in Japan. Like because like in America or other countries, you don't see like old men walk, like you don't see old men like shuffling around, and they'll have like this radio in their belt bag. God, yeah, I saw that so much in Osaka. That's one of those memories I have of Japan where it makes me smile. Just thinking of old men walking around with their radios. Um, Redcon, you lived in Asia for 11 years, 7 in Japan. Okay, man, you're an experienced expat vet. Cool. Where else did you live besides Japan? All right, guys, I'm gonna see what my patrons want to do. So I want to see if they're gonna want to keep it private or public. All right, guys. So my patrons are saying keep it public. So this live stream is gonna continue to be public. Thanks to my patrons. So say thank you to my patrons. I'll probably stay on for about 15 more minutes. Okay, I see I've been on for 53 minutes. Yeah, stay on for about an hour. Minko-chan, you say you're Japanese, or you say you're from Japan, and you use my videos to study English? I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, because when I speak English in my videos, I don't I don't filter my English for people learning English. I would say I'm a good teacher, though. If you want to, okay, I'm not going to get into that. No gaijin hunters in Kenya, I bet. Not like Japan. It's different. There's Kenyans that definitely they'll see an American, or they'll see like a Caucasian, a Westerner, and they're very, they want to come and talk to you. Um, but when I think of a Japanese gaijin hunter, I think of a Japanese person that just wants to talk to you to practice English. That's the only reason, and that's the only purpose they have for you. And no, you don't get that with Kenyans. Okay. Trying to catch up on the comments here, guys. Give me a sec. Okay. So this guy with a Russian handle name asking me to make all my videos public. No, no, I like the system I have. There's some videos I have that I created for my patrons only, and those videos will always be private. And you're saying that I can make more money if I release them or whatever. Well, it's not worth the money. Unique 90, you're 20 years old and you want some life advice. Well, start saving your money, man, and like really save it. Don't find excuses to spend your savings, and learn how to invest. Yeah, I mean, money will set you free. It doesn't buy happiness, but it will give you a lot of options later on in life. Make a financial plan for yourself. Radcon, you're saying that there's age discrimination in Japan. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I faced it myself in Japan. Do people smoke weed in Kenya? Yeah, they do. They do. Like you can literally smell it. You can literally smell it. Like not everywhere you go, but many places you go. Yeah, it's pretty free. The weed situation is pretty free over there. William Albert, thank you, man. I'm glad you're glad to see me happy. Okay, guys, sorry if I'm quiet. I'm just reading the comments. All right, Pancho, good night. Ash is saying, you've lived in Japan for 6 months. Will people ever stop calling me Gaijin-san? Uh, I don't think you live in Japan. I don't think you live in Japan. People use People usually don't call you Gaijin directly. They refer to you as a Gaijin, so you probably don't live in Japan. You're probably a weeaboo. How many viewers are we up to now? 93. Okay. I'm gonna keep this going and okay. I'm gonna stream for 1 hour today. And I'll I'll go longer if we get any donations, but otherwise I'll just stop at 1 hour. And if I'm not answering your questions, it's because I either don't want to answer it or it's a question that I would answer from a patron. Okay, Ash, you're from Kadoma. Uh, Kadomashi. Where is that? Is that near Tokyo? I've heard of that before. Let's see. What time is it in Japan now? Like uh, like 1:30 p.m. on Monday? Hey Johnny, glad to have you here. So Ash, I called you out as a weeaboo, and I said you're probably not in Japan. Was I right? Okay, he's saying that he happened. Let's see. He said, I live in Kadomashi, and this happened when an old guy is struggling to see my face at night when I walk into an izakaya. Yeah, I mean, they're, yeah, well, yeah, yeah, they might call you a gaijin-san. That's pretty bad though. Like, oh, I'd hate to come across that guy. It's possible, so I don't know. If you really do live in Japan and you're not a weeaboo, my apologies. Yeah, Tokyo Sam is in California, I think. Oh, Kadoma is near Osaka. Kadoma. Okay, so that's on the Kyobashi line, right? The Kyobashi line. Trying to think. Oh God, there's so many lines from Kyobashi, but it is on the Kyobashi line, right? I think I know where, and I think I know what you're talking about. Have I had the Kundalini experience? I don't know what that is. Johnny says he's waiting for Dream Crusher Kenya. Hmm. I don't know. I have to be careful about what kind of videos I make about Kenya. I don't know if you guys get that, but I won't explain that any further. But no, I mean Kenyans. I can kind of understand. Like they do some annoying things, but I can really is it sympathize or empathize? I can really empathize with them. Whereas with Japanese, I can't. I can't. They're they're they should know better. Okay, Ash, you said you got 6 more months and you're moving back to England. Well, I'm okay. I would say if you're young, you definitely want to be careful, like not to get trapped in Japan, and you easily can. Um, but I wouldn't encourage you to go back to England if you're like homesick or something. Yeah. Uh, this guy, Jerp Jerp Jerp, why the barrier entry to my website? But you don't want to submit an ID. Oh, that's just to prevent trolls. That's all. The Dream Crusher Kenya would be Kenya not being a terrible place to live. Yeah, that's true. That would totally crush a weeaboo's dream. That's a good one. That'll be my Dream Crusher. Fuck, that's a great idea. Can you live like a king for $100 over there in Kenya? You can live like a king for $500 a month. Uh, Speaking of which, did you want to do a Dream Crusher about Thailand? Yeah, I could do that. That's a good idea too. Yeah, I'm gonna work on guys, you're giving me such good ideas for future videos. Because I have like a string of Africa videos which I've just finished editing 2 nights ago. Still have to release them all. I think that's going to be a season. After those, I'm going to maybe do some videos about these topics that you guys are asking me about before I start season 2. Bro, I am 31 and I'm so hard into yellow fever. Well, go to go to Japan or Thailand or the Philippines or Cambodia. Ash, you're homesick like crazy. Okay, like I don't know, man. I would ask you like, are you getting laid in Japan? Because if you're getting laid, like I think that's gonna like help balance the homesickness. Oh, guys, we have a Weibo in the house. We have a weeaboo in the house. MKG 415. Japanese are the least flawed of the human species. Weeaboo detected. Weeaboo detected. I need a siren. I need a siren to go off or something. I plan to visit Japan for 2 months. I try to use only the basics like cheap hotels and basic food. How much do you think it would cost for 60 days? Well, you could get in like okay, for example, Tikio Sam was staying in a little bitch box. Like he literally like lived in a box, and I think he rented that for like it's like it's like 3 levels of little bitch boxes. Like each person has their little bitch box, and there's a futon in there, and there's like a little bit of room for some shelves and maybe a TV or something. And this little bitch box costs like I think $200 a month or $300 a month. So, and then you just can eat. I'd say you could spend. You can get by on like $10 a day on food if you go to the supermarket or eat out at cheap places. So that's 300 a month plus your bitch box, which is like we'll say it's I don't know how much it costs. I think it's like 300 a month, 600 a month plus transportation. It's going to be like another $100. So it's 700. Yeah, so you could do it 700 a month. Sebastian, have I gone to the Philippines? Yes, I did. I did, and I vlogged some of it too. It's on my site, ryanboundless.com. Loved it there. Loved it. In fact, speaking of the Philippines, I was thinking about this today. I'm not really, I'm not really like, what's the word? I don't really feel inspired to go back to Asia, but when I think of the Philippines, I would want to go back there. I do want to go back there. John Smith, you're living in Thailand but open to Africa. Yeah, I've heard the retirement visa situation or the visa situation in Thailand has gotten stricter. It was a pain in the ass for me having to do border runs every 2 months. I couldn't like completely relax. That was a pain in the ass. Uh, Redcon says in Japan it's easy to get laid, but maintaining your career and other goals can be difficult. Yeah, if you're a pussy monster, for sure. All right, Ash. So you got a Japanese girlfriend? That's cool. Yeah, I think that's one thing that helps with homesickness is having a Japanese girlfriend. And having a Japanese girlfriend helps you feel more of a connection with more of a connection with Japan. Tikio Sam used to be my hero in his first years of Japan, and with the years, it just went bad. Huh. I don't know. I haven't watched all his videos. Um, hmm. Unknown Pacifist. Vista, 700 a month in Japan. Well, I was just laying out a scenario that it could be done. I mean, I was living under $800 a month in Japan my last year and a half there. There are not as many people who have an idealized view of Kenya, so you can't really do Dream Crusher videos about Kenya. No Kenya weeaboos. Yeah, that's right, Toby. But one other guy made a good comment. He said, making or talking about how Kenya is a wonderful place to live would be a Dream Crusher video. It would be that would be a Dream Crusher video for weeaboos. They don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that somebody prefers to live in Kenya over Japan. That's going to be a great Dream Crusher video, actually. Anything I can do to crush a weeaboo's dream, it makes me pretty happy. Oh, your girlfriend's not Japanese. Okay. All right. Well, at least you have a girlfriend there. Would you like to have a Japanese girlfriend? Taiwanese girls are the easiest of any country I've been to. Huh. Have you been to Japan? I would disagree with you because I've been to Taiwan too. Once you go Jap, you dowg or no clap. I don't. What are you talking about, man? Jurgen, you're saying that Taiwan girls are easier than Thailand? I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, guys. Let's see. Z Mill, you're an inspiration. Fuck the haters. You're a good travel vlogger and you're brave. Thank you. Thanks, man. Do I think that Japan's economic bubble will collapse? That's too deep of a question. I'm not that on top of economics of Japan that much. I think the U.S. is going to get creamed by China, though. I don't think we're going to be the number one economic superpower for much longer. Yeah. All right, guys. I enjoyed chatting with all of you. I think I'll do this maybe once or twice a month. And thanks for all the questions. And keep on watching the videos and enjoying the journey. All right, guys. Thanks and peace out.